So we were talking about libp2p scaling for live broadcast, and we talked about the with Eric from LivePeer. And the current state of the art is use a real-time media protocol to stream to a media server that does the encoding to HLS for progressive downloads, basically creating pointers to chunks of bytes. That's currently pushed to a CDN and delivered to the devices, but how to do it with via peer-to-peer technologies. Right now, cutting off a little bit of splice of that, still over HLS, but actually into a group of peers that actually are rebroadcasting to each other. Right now, a lot of it happens over a data collector that basically gives the status of the peer group. The issue, though, is actually is some issues about privacy. So management of membership, and we talked about token economics to actually make sure that they're all doing validation and playing nicely within this. Or it could be actually this is a total isolated network of the DHT and peers to actually handle that. So that could be done with token economics. So the issue is proxy re-encryption or proxy rebroadcast of potentially encrypted data, and the issue about how to handle a sharding or using PubSub to handle that. Some of the issues we talked about were actually latency and geolocation of that, to actually to just say, hey, I'm the closest peer, or I can handle this type of data in the payload that goes back and forth. And the issue about sort of consensus. Some of this was actually worked on with BitTorrent Live back in the day, but sort of has fallen out of and defunct. Right now, a lot of happens right now with live stream at least is the data goes to the real-time media player, goes to an object store, then to the media server, in which case there's an orchestration of peers actually handling it and providing it back into the media server, which is served over the peers. But ideally, actually, it would be done in a decentralized fashion. Questions?
Yeah, just to comment, I know that Viso has done like extensive work with peer-to-peer video streaming, and it's certainly worth getting in touch with when he's available. Yeah.
Right, and I think that one issue we talked about was actually is the number of hops. It actually is how to prevent that delay, and I think it's ultimately I think what we talked about is the need for IPTB, a testing lab, testbed, thank you, is the issue about how do you store the state of it and actually really handle load balancing, sharding, dialing the tune to get something we get real-time analytics for data-driven development to figure out, well, how does this network handle the load? How many more peers need to join?
Shuffling your overlay networks.
Yes, into this simulation. So I think the simulation testing with IPTB is actually critical to that use case.
Cool.
Thank you.